Audio check. Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that are kind of totally brand new to the webinar experience that we offer here at Currency House, we normally do tend to start webinars just a tad bit over the hour. This is just because there are some people out there that might take a little bit longer than others just to download the software. So we just want to make sure that everybody has their seat and is fully good to go. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started with a session here today. So we do have quite a mix of individuals that it might be their first webinar that they're attending today. Others we've seen you here before, which is fantastic. The webinar service is something that Currency House offers their clients, both demo and on the live side of things. Individuals that have a live account have a little bit more access to some webinars that we present. For example, we will be hosting a webinar this Thursday strictly for live account holders. That's going to be with our VP here, our VP of trading. His name's Dan Perry. Sometimes he offers personalized coaching sessions as well. He's been in the industry for about 20 years or so now. So he's offering a coaching session this Thursday for individuals with a live account membership at Currency House, and that's going to be strictly based on the upcoming non-farm payroll report that's coming out in the United States this Friday. So that's going to be for individuals with a live account. If you are interested in taking the leap to a live account, we will get around to that kind of near the end of the webinar with a also bonus offering that we're going to be offering some individuals if you stick around for the entire duration. So I definitely recommend that to individuals here today. But yeah, welcome guys. My name is Matthew Dyer. I will be hosting you today. I know I've spoken with a few of you on the phone, which is fantastic. Always like talking to traders, always like helping individuals that have never traded in the market before. It's kind of what my forte is here at Currency House. I always make sure that individuals that are trading for the first time know exactly what they're doing. When it comes down to it, trading online can be daunting. There's definitely been moments when I first started that I just didn't think I was going to get it. You see the platform for the first time, no matter what platform it is. The one that we use here at Currency House is called the xStation platform. Whether or not it's that, whether or not it's one like MetaTrader 4, which is kind of the big standard in the industry nowadays. xStation is a newer, but we believe much more modern and simpler version of most trading stations out there. We'll get to that though as well. Whether or not you're using those, it always seems daunting when you're hopping on it for the first time. There's always this kind of feeling of overwhelmingness when you see the platform for the first time, especially if you're a first-time trader. That's very simple, and it really comes down to just pressing a few buttons, honestly, if you're looking to place a trade and just having a few things in mind. If you know the very basics, which we're going to go over today, you can place a trade and walk away from it with ease and come back to it and visit it later and see how it paid off. Was it profitable? Was it not? That's no problem because a lot of you guys have demo accounts, and the best way of learning at the end of the day is if you still feel overwhelmed is to just hop on your demo account and practice out some trades. And if you want, you can just let your live funds sit in your account until you're ready to start trading, or you can go ahead and start trading your live funds. It's really up to you guys. We're here to help you at the end of the day, so hopefully we can. So let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that are totally brand new to the webinar experience, you will see a interactive chat box to the upper right-hand side of your screen. You're going to see a few different tools that you have. Number one is the ability to write things in that chat box. That's how you're going to be able to communicate with me throughout the webinar. We are doing this on a live scale, let me remind you. So obviously, any questions you type in, I will see. I'm going to wait until the end of the webinar to answer the questions. Please keep in mind that there are people from all around the world tuning in today, so individuals might be on their lunch break. They might be just waiting to go to bed shortly after this, or they might be just in their early morning hours. So we don't want to keep it too long for individuals. We generally try to make it around 30 minutes and then get you out of here if you want to. If not, you can stick around and ask some questions, which is what the chat box will do. I'll try to stick around for as long as I can, answering as many questions as I can to help you guys out. So, there also is an ability to raise your hand. The raising hand feature I don't really use in my webinars. Other traders use, so don't worry about raising your hand. It won't do anything. Just don't do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the agenda on your screen right now. We're going to go ahead and just show you how to get started. Very simple stuff. That's just going to be logging onto the platform, what to do, how to get into your account, that kind of thing. Very simple stuff. We're then going to show you how to place a trade, the basics of placing a trade, what buttons to press to place a trade on the Forex side of the trading platform. We're going to be going over that in detail, so obviously jot down any questions you have. If anything was unclear, just save it for the end of the webinar and let me know. I'm more than happy to go back over it. We're going to show you how to manage risk. That is in the function of a take profit and a stop loss. Very, very important things. You've obviously heard of this if you've done any sort of trading before, the importance of an an SL and a TP, stop loss and take profit. You're going to see that no matter what trading station you're on. You should always place a stop loss and a take profit on trades. Binary trading, this is very, very, very simple trading. People know it as option trading. It's called binary options is the term for it. It's becoming very large around the world. It already is in a lot of countries. So you probably heard it before. It's very simple. We actually made a few binary trades in the last webinar and they ended up paying off. I think we actually ended up walking away from the last webinar up about $125 if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around that realm. So the last webinar actually ended up being very profitable for the live account that we were actually running off of. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back over some trades. I'm going to show you a indice that I prefer to trade sometimes when I'm just looking to kind of enter and exit a trade very quickly. There's a very, very volatile trading instrument that I use that I can monitor when I have a second or two to sit down on the platform and literally just wait until it goes into the positive and then cash out with $10 or $15 at a time. It's very simple to do, so if you have some time at the end of the webinar, maybe I'll show that to you guys if we have time. So also, and then we're just going to go over predicting the market. So obviously, if you know how to place a trade, you know how to manage the risk on that trade, well, how can you predict where the market is going to go? So we're then going to show you guys a tool on the platform in terms of how to predict the market and how to predict market behavior. And then hopefully you'll see, just based on activity this week, how things affect the market, and ultimately this coming Friday, how a huge report from the United States is going to cause some major volatility in the market as well. So we're going to be going all over all of this today. I'm really hoping to get you guys out of here by the 30-minute mark. We might go a little bit over that, but again, you're under no obligation to stick around for the entire thing. If you do, though, you will be privy to a small little bonus and a small little offer that we're going to offer individuals who want to stick around. So definitely recommend it, but if not, no worries. Also, like I said, we're going to be able to answer any questions that you guys have throughout the webinar as well. Okay. So this is the platform when you first log in. It's, like I said, it can seem confusing, especially to some. I'm going to get on my spotlight here and just try to highlight a few things. So this is the main Forex screen. When you log into the platform, when you go on to currencyhouse.com, log in, live account or demo account, this is what you're going to see. It's going to be a little overwhelming to some individuals. You're going to see some flashing numbers over here. You're going to see a candlestick pattern right here, and then you're going to see open positions right here. If it's your first time logging in, obviously this is going to be blank. You're not going to have any positions currently open. On the left-hand side of the screen, though, you're going to see 4 little buttons here, and those are basically the 4 things that should stick out immediately to you. It's always going to be highlighted on Forex. This is going to be the Forex trading screen. This is when you place trades. It's like the fundamental of trading online is Forex trading. So when you have that Forex highlighted, you know you're on Forex trading. The 2 things that we're going to examine today is Forex and options. Options is binary options. So if you ever want to go to binary options, you just click on it. Social and store, they're 2 different functions that we examine in other webinars. Social, we've done a few webinars that are available on our YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. It's really cool. Social basically ranks all of the players currently in xStation that are trading, and you have the opportunity to actually follow them, copy their trades, and whenever they make a trade, you make a trade. So it kind of, how we describe it is that there's a lot of like trading robots out there you hear, that there's kind of the system that will trade for you. It's all automatic though, and there's no human element to it. Social is very cool because it's still very humanistic. You're following an actual person. You're not following a robot. So this person is consistently monitoring the market, and you can actually see who's the best in the game and then copy their strategies for yourself, or copy a mirror image of their strategies, or copy a marginal base of their strategies. So it's a very cool thing to check out. If you're on demo, they're the exact same thing as on your demo account, so please feel free to check that out too. So, Okay, so right away, you're going to see this thing's going to pop up first because it's going to be flashing for a lot of individuals. All this is really looking at is the current price of a lot of different market instruments. Currently, the one that's broadcasted on the screen here, the chart right here, the candlestick chart, is Euro USD. So you can see Euro USD right there. Hopefully everybody sees that spotlight, that red big dot right here. Okay, Euro USD. So that, if you look at it, is right here. So these are just a bunch of instruments. If you keep on going down, you're going to get into the commodities. That's like copper, gold, oil, silver, platinum. All of those are in there. Even agricultural goods like soybean, milk, that's all in here. Okay, so what is Euro USD? This is the absolute most basic form of trading. What is Euro USD? It may seem like reiteration for some. This took me honestly a long time when I was first starting in the markets, when I was just a wee little lad. It took me a while to get, and I still explain it to a lot of individuals today. Why is there two currencies? Euro is obviously a euro, EUR. USD is the United States dollar. It's the acronym for it, obviously. If you look at other things like USD, CAD, that's the United States dollar, and a Canadian dollar. So if you look at currencies, there's always going to be two of them, no matter what. If you look at commodities, it's just going to be one of them, right? Oil, gold, anything like that. But the reason that a currency is always with another currency is because they need to fluctuate in value. That's the only way these charts are going to exist, right? If it's fluctuating in value, that's when traders come along and try to make profit. If they predict the movement of the overall value of that given currency, that's when they're going to make money. That's how everybody makes money when it comes to trading. So Euro USD is the value of a euro when compared to the United States dollar. So if we just looked at the euro, it would always be equal to 1 euro. It would never change, right? It would always just be equal to 1 euro. A euro is equal to a euro. A Canadian dollar is always going to be equal to a Canadian dollar. That's why you never just see the currency by itself. If the currency is just by itself, we're not comparing it to anything, right? So it's just going to stay at 1. When it starts changing like this, you see this numbers bouncing all over the place, is when you compare it to another currency. If you compare it to another currency, that's going to cause it to fluctuate. So what does this mean right here, Euro USD? Euro USD means how much does it cost us to purchase a euro in US dollars? Okay, so how much does it cost us to purchase a euro in US dollars? Well, as of this chart, this isn't correct right now, but as of this chart, it costs exactly 105 United States dollars to purchase a euro, okay? And that fluctuates on a daily basis. That fluctuates based on everything. The current market cap, the current economic thermometer of the euro, the current economy of the United States, the current economy of Germany. That changes this price all the time. Every day it's changing all the time. So if you compare these two numbers, that's when it's going to start changing. That's when people come in and start predicting if it's going to be going up or down in value, and that's when people make money. So let's say that again, it's the value of a euro when compared to US dollars. So how many US dollars does it take to purchase a euro? If you look at any of these charts, the first value, no matter what it is always going to be equal to 1. The second value is the thing that changes. So this euro GBP is Great Britain pound, right? The acronym for Great Britain pound, that's the currency that the UK uses. So it's the value of a euro when compared to Great Britain pounds. So it costs exactly 0.718 pounds to purchase a euro, okay? So that's just the very fundamental of trading. It's something that you guys are going to have to wrap your head around. It obviously may seem like a different language to some people who are just starting off, but the more you start reiterating that to yourself, the easier it's going to get. And if it's still very, very foreign, no worries. You're not a minority. You're definitely in the majority if it's confusing still. Just hop on the demo platform and start playing around with it. It's going to make a little bit more sense once you do that. So let's go ahead and just do the first step, which is logging into our platform here with Currency House. Okay, so this is the website. We've simply gone at this point to currencyhouse.com. We see our beautiful platform here, and we go to log in. So this is assuming that you guys have already opened an account. Very simple to open an account. You just click on live or demo. Depending on what you want to do, I'm sure at the end of this webinar, everyone's going to want to open a live account. I can't blame you, but let's go log into our live account right now. So everything's based on a cloud service platform, meaning that there's no obligation to download anything. You just log into the website. Everything stores on a huge cloud server system that we have. So it's very awesome like that. You don't need to download anything. You can access this from anywhere. You only need internet access in order to do so. So we're just going to wait for this to load up a bit. As you can see, when it does load up, it's going to be loading up onto this main Forex screen that we saw before. Again, the flashing numbers on the left-hand side, the open positions on the bottom, and of course the candlestick chart right here in the middle of the screen, which is taking a little bit of time to load up here. It's going to be on USD CAD. We're going to see the charting for USD CAD. Candlestick charting is definitely a preferred method of charting for individuals. You can kind of see that each of these bars here look like little candlesticks. That's why they're called candlestick charting. Not very creative, I know. But all it means is that each of these little candlesticks represent a period of time. And that's adjustable right here. You can see that it's under M15, which means a 15-minute candlestick. So that means each of these candlesticks here represent 15 minutes. So if the candlestick's blue, that means that within that 15 minutes, the value of the currency was going up. If it's white, that means the value of the currency or whatever you're trading was going down during that 15-minute time frame. And these are all adjustable. You can pick whatever you want. You just got to click down here. You can go all the way to a daily chart. This means that every single one of these candlesticks is representative of a day. So you can see that in the past year, the general pattern has been that the US dollar has been tanking in the past year since January 2015 when it hit its huge mark. Sorry, January 2016. Okay, so let's go back to the chart here. Go back to the PowerPoint. And we've got started. We've logged into the platform. We understand what a trading instrument is. We understand what Euro USD is. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so placing a trade. So what's the next step? After you've logged into the platform and you want to make some money, now you're going to want to place a trade, right? Okay, so let me get out my spotlight here so I can highlight a few things again. So whenever you see this orange dotted line, this represents a trade placed on the platform. See this orange dotted line right here? Again, we're still with Euro USD. Euro USD is the biggest traded instrument, hands down, on any sort of trading platform. Euro USD, it's crazy how much it's traded on a day-to-day basis. So when you place a trade, you're going to have two options. Okay, you're just going to be able to do one of two things, and that's either buy or sell. If you buy something, buy an instrument, buy Euro USD, buy oil, buy gold, what you're hoping is that the instrument will be going up in value, right? You're buying it at a certain price, and then it's going to be going up in value. If it goes up in value, that means profit for you, okay? If you sell something, that is also referred to in the industry as shorting something, okay? If you're shorting something, you want it to be going down. If the value goes down when you short it, that's profit for you, okay? So if you short something or sell it, you want it to go down. If you buy something or go long on it, as it's referred into the industry, you're hoping that it goes up in value. If either of those things happen, that means profit in your bank account, okay? So let's look at this trade right here. This was a buy position. You can see that in my spotlight right here. You got to kind of put your face right against the monitor. You're going to see the buy sign, okay? The buy logo right here. This means that the person went long on Euro USD at this given time frame. They were hoping that it was going to be going up in value, okay? So they bought it right at this point right here. Unfortunately, it didn't really go up. It kind of went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, then went down again. But then it jumped up like crazy right here. This big candlestick representing a huge jump. Maybe this person was just waiting and waiting until this news announcement or something came out right here. Maybe it was the president of the ECB came out and said, you know what, the Eurozone is looking good. We're estimating it's going to be going up. So the euro just jumped up in value. Okay, so whatever happened, it jumped up in value. So this means profit for the trader, right? Because they went long on it. They bought it. So they wanted to go up in value. So as soon as it spiked up in value, this meant profit for the trader. So I'm going to just get rid of my spotlight here. Oops. So look down at the screen here. You can see the open position that the trader had out. Because it's currently above the buy position, meaning that it's gone up, that means that the trade is currently running at a profit of $166, right? You can see at the bottom of the screen here. Hope everyone sees that. That's what you want it to do. If you buy something, it's going up in value. That's what you want, okay? Alternatively, if you short something, you want it to be going down in value. So let's hop back onto the platform and let's open up. How about the DE30 here? Let's see what the DE30. This is my favorite trading instrument. It tends to fluctuate a lot, and you can place very small trades on it. This was the trick I was going to show you guys. But let's go ahead and short it. So let's go ahead and predict that it's going to be going down in value. You know what? Actually, let's do something easy. Let's go to Euro USD. Euro USD seems to be bouncing back up after a huge roller coaster day today. So let's go ahead and actually long Euro USD just to be easy. We'll go back to the DE30 if we have time afterwards to show you guys. It's kind of my favorite trading instrument. It's a bit of a trick for the trade for a lot of traders here to use the DE30. But let's go back on it at the end of the session if we're lucky and we have time. Okay, so let's go long on Euro USD. So if you want to go long on something, you simply put your cursor over the Forex screen like I have right now, okay? And on the top left-hand side, you're going to see these two buttons. You're going to see a red button and a blue button. Blue button means buy. And if you look on this, you can see it right here. Blue is buy, red is sell. That means that blue button is going long on something, meaning you want it to go up in value. Red button means shorting it, means that you want to be going down in value, okay? So let's go ahead and go long on Euro USD right now. Press the blue button right here, okay? So buy Euro USD, yes. And the position is struck, okay? All I did there was I pressed the blue button right here. I wanted to go long on it. I perceived it as going up in value in the short term. So I pressed the blue button, okay? Now it's going up in value. So now I want it to go up in value. So the spread right now has us down a little bit. That's no problem at all. So just like that, we placed a trade. Okay, that's step number one. That's fundamental number one for the site. We have placed a trade. Very, very, very simple. Someone just asked what the DE30 was. The DE30 is the German stock index. So that's something else you can trade on the platform is different indices. You can trade the French index, the German index, the US index. These are like the Nikkei index. These are massive, massive stock indices that exist. So because they're massive and they're traded all the time, the fluctuation is absolutely huge. So, you know, Euro USD might fluctuate a fraction of a penny throughout the day, but the DE30 will fluctuate hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the day. So even a little fluctuation could mean a good amount of money in your account. So even though it's very volatile, which means it could be bad if it goes the opposite direction. It could be very good if it goes in your direction. So it's all about having a good amount of margin in your account before you trade the DE30. So sorry, again, we're getting off track. So we just made the trade here. So as you guys can see, again, always this blue line is, or this buy line is going to be represented. You can kind of see this little orange horizontal line. That's exactly when the line was struck. So we have a buy position right now on Euro USD. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So what's after placing a trade? After placing a trade is managing risk. This is placing a stop loss and a take profit. A stop loss and a take profit is extremely important when you're placing your trade. We always recommend making sure that you have a stop loss and a take profit, and always recommend sticking to it. It's a good tool to not over leverage yourself on a certain position that you have out there. It's very, very important, and it kind of negates this massive sentiment in the market of trader mentality risk, which is kind of getting too emotional when it comes to trading. It kind of takes emotion out of it if you have your stop loss and your take profit in place. So what is a stop loss and a take profit? Well, a stop loss and a take profit is almost like you have a broker working for you, a currency house. You have this one individual that works for you in the system, this fictional person, and you tell them, hey, broker guy, if the market jumps up and I find myself you know, up $100, I want you to close that position out and make sure that $100 go directly in my account. And the broker says, no problem. As soon as it goes up $100 bucks, that money's going in your account, sir, no problem whatsoever. You say, fantastic, great. And then you say, alternatively, Mr. Broker Guy, if the position swings down and I start losing all this money, I want you to close the position out immediately so my loss is very minimal. Okay, and he says, no problem, that makes sense. I'll do that as well. And then you say, you know what, see you later. I'll check back with you in a few days and see how my trade's going. And that's exactly what a stop loss and a take profit is, okay? The stop loss basically allows you, if the market swings in the opposite direction, to close off the trade and minimize the amount of loss that you incur on the trade. The take profit alternatively exists there to stop the trade and to allow all the profit that you incurred to be moved into your account before the market swings back in the opposite direction and you lose the chance of losing out on that potential profit. Okay, so you can see here that there is a take profit of about 52 pips up in this direction and a stop loss of about 23 pips down in that direction. So if the market swings up and hits this line, the trade will close and all of this dough will be put into the trader's account. Alternatively, if the market starts tanking in the opposite direction for whatever unforeseen reason, then the trade cuts out very short and there's minimal loss incurred on the trade. This is very important if you're only looking to lose a certain amount, right? You should only trade what you're willing to lose on a certain trade. Whenever you enter a trade, you say, okay, I'm only willing to lose $20 on this trade. And that's what you make your stop loss, right? Because that way, even if for whatever reason it swings in the opposite direction, remember, there's only a 50-50 chance that it's going to go down or up, even at its most basic level. If you're not analyzing any news events or market data at all, it's always going to be 50-50. So if you have your stop loss there in place, you're only going to lose whatever you're willing to lose on every trade, okay? So it's kind of like, you know, you're basically mitigating this massive risk involved because you're only losing what you're willing to lose, but you're potentially gaining a very large amount. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back onto that Euro USD position that we had and place a take profit and a stop loss. So it's very simple to do. You only have to put your cursor over the orange dotted line here and click on it. As soon as you click on it, you're going to see this white line and this blue line. Okay. Obviously, our take profit is on the top because we have a buy position. We're hoping that it goes up. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this take profit. To do this, you simply click on it and you just start dragging. And as you drag, you can see that that profit is going up, right? It's at 25, 26, 27. That's because if the market hits that line, the trade will close out and that profit will be put into my overall account. As soon as it's at a desirable level for you, you simply just stop dragging and this will come up. You simply click yes, and now my take profit is in place. So let's go ahead and put a stop loss in as well. So same thing, just click and drag. Let's go ahead and drag it down just to the base of this one formation here, and it's about 30 pips in that direction. Let's keep it there and just click yes. So now I can just walk away from this trade. If the trade swings up in my favor, I can just cap out and I don't even have to be here for the profit to be put in my account. Alternatively, if the trade unfortunately swings in the other direction, I only lose $30 and that's nothing. Okay, I'm not even too worried about that. I have $820 in my account balance. You know, $30, whatever, I'll take that chance. I can just make a new trade tomorrow based on more knowledge, okay? So that's it. I can walk away from this and do whatever I want. I can leave the webinar. I can go home. I can, you know, go walk my dog, make some food, whatever. You can do whatever at this point because the system will automatically close the trade if it's losing too much or take all the profit and put it into your account without you even being here. So, boom, you just did a Forex trade with a take profit and a stop loss just like that, people. It was pretty easy, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the even easier part, which is binary trading. So the reason that so many people around the world do binary trading is for the ultimate simplicity of it. When you're doing binary trading, you're only really pressing one or two things. You're essentially betting whether or not within a certain expiry time that you pick, you can pick the expiry time however long you want, if a certain value is going to be up or down in value. So that's it. You're just picking whether or not gold or Euro USD or oil or whatever you want is going to be higher or lower than its current market value within an expiry time. So, and you can pick whatever you want. Like if it's trending super high, you just pick down. I bet within the next 3 minutes it's going to be lower than this amount, or it's going to be higher than this amount. You can invest whatever you want. You can invest as low as $10 if you want per binary bet. So you can see here that if you were to press the up button, there's a blue line struck, and then you see this countdown timer right beside it right here. So this means that the individual that just placed this trade, they bet that within 3 minutes and 17 seconds that the price of gold was going to be higher than 1205, okay? And if it is within 3 minutes that that white market line is above this blue line, they get their rate of return. So they get a payout of $164 in their account. Alternatively, this individual bet that within 3 minutes and 17 seconds, your USD would actually be lower than 1.0918, okay? So that's why there's a red line right here. They bet it lower. So let's go on to the binary charting. Let's see if we can make a quick buck on binary options. And then we're going to do one more thing, which is predicting the market, and then we are almost there. So I know I'm going a little over the time gap here. I hope I still have all of your attention, but we do not have that much longer. We're almost there, guys, so please hold on tight. Okay, great. So we have two charts open right now. We have Euro USD and GBP USD. If you guys remember from our little lesson at the start of the webinar, Euro USD is the value of a euro in US dollars. So what we can buy a euro at in US dollars. GBP USD is the current value of the Great Britain pound in US dollars. So how many US dollars does it take to buy the Great Britain pound? Okay, so right now we can see that on the hour chart we're trending pretty high right now for Euro USD. So let's go ahead and bet down. I don't want to do a $100 investment. That's pretty rich for my taste. Let's do a $10 bet. Let's go ahead and bet down. So pretty risky stuff. We're only betting within a minute 15 time frame here. You can see. Let's make this a little bit bigger. For our GBP USD chart here, let's go ahead and make the expiry time maybe 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and do the same thing and press down here. Okay, so it's for our, we're up right now for both of them. GBP USD, we're currently down, but we're up on the Euro USD. Oh no, it just went back up. So you can see here that this white line's moving. I have a red one, so I want it to be lower, right? You want it to be lower within that given time frame. The first bet was a little risky on my part. I only did it within a minute, which is kind of a little risky. Hopefully within that minute it reverts sides. Again, it's only a $10 bet that we put. It was really just to show you guys ultimately how to place a binary chart here. So let's go ahead and hope that within that 15-second time frame it actually jumps below. If not, it looks like we're going to be pretty good on GBP USD. It's trending downward, definitely. We just got to hope that within 5 seconds, I don't know if we're going to hit it. I think we might end up losing out on this one. Oh, so close. Yeah, so we ended up losing out on that one. That's no problem. It was so close, though. It just jumped back up. It was right at the line, I think. So if we would have waited for a little bit longer, I think we would have had it. So no problem at all, guys. Like I said, last time we did this webinar, we ended up betting a $100 investment on one of them and ended up paying off. So there's always the ability to make a good amount of dough here on the binary bets. And it's a lot of fun at the end of the day. You could sit in front of the screen and do this all day. Like I said, if you go around the world, people do binary so much, it's crazy. It's catching on as one of the biggest traded options. And the great thing about Currency House is that everything's under one account balance. So you can do binary, you can use the profit you've made in binary to jump back on a Forex, use that to place a Forex bet, and then jump back onto whatever you want. So the option's always there to do whatever you want, guys. And it's always a good amount of fun no matter what you do. So let's go ahead and look at some different alternative options to get you guys started on predicting market behavior. So predicting the market. So if you guys were following the market today, if you managed to read the brief that we put out at Currency House, the massive big piece of news here, despite the yen, was the Australian dollar. The Reserve Bank of Australia, as it's called, that's the central bank for Australia, cut interest rates. Very surprise move. They didn't even really have a meeting, actually. So it was a pretty big surprise in the market today. So if someone cuts interest rates, that's always going to affect the currency. The interest rate announcements of a particular country have a very, very, very powerful effect on that currency's current evaluation. If the interest rates are cut, it's always going to be going down. If interest rates are hiked, it's going to be going up. So the United States is in the process of currently hiking their interest rate this year. And you probably heard that a lot. Even if you don't really follow market news, I'm sure you guys have heard the hike of the US dollar, the Fed, Janet Yellen, all that stuff comes down to hiking interest rates. So as soon as there's any talk surrounding the hiking of interest rates, you're always going to see that corresponding currency go up in value. If there's talk of cutting interest rates, you're always going to see that corresponding currency go down in value. So overnight, the Reserve Bank of Australia cut their interest rate to it was 1.75. That's a historic low. They cut it by 25 basis points. So that is pretty crazy, and that's what caused this massive drop here. So this massive drop. Look at this candlestick. That's huge. That is a huge, huge drop, guys. Really, really big. Historic stuff. It almost went down by 230 pips, which is really, really big for a single day drop. It managed to claw back up a bit, but it just kept on going down. So this is a huge, huge gap here that was caused singly by this interest rate announcement. So this is a prime example that you guys can see right now is a result of the news in the market. So news always affects the market. It's called fundamental analysis, and it's a way of really predicting when there's going to be a serious period of volatility in the market. It's just by looking at news announcement. And there's a very powerful tool called your calendar, which is just above your Forex trading screen in your trading platform that you have. You just go to calendar, and this is going to pop up. Okay, it's going to look like a calendar like this. It's going to show you what country news announcements are coming out, what day they're coming out, and exactly the overall power of that news announcement. If it's red, that means it's going to be very high volatility. That means we're going to see some serious movements. If it's orange, that means it's kind of medium. It's going to move a little bit, not that much. And if it's white, that means it's not going to really affect the market. But red is what you're really looking forward to. So like I said, this Friday is going to be very big. It was a slow start to the week because of the very minor news announcements coming out because of the numerous holidays that we had all throughout the globe. There are holidays everywhere. Everybody was on holiday for the first 2 weeks this week. So, but this Friday, we're going to be receiving some major announcements regarding employment data, which is basically second to interest rates for affecting a country's particular currency. It's a very massive economic thermometer to show how a country is doing. So right now, we have the Canadian and American employment data coming out on Friday. These are all very powerful. They're all red. There's a lot of red surrounding it. You can see that it's like about 5 different red events, which is very, very, very volatile. It means we're going to see a lot of change. Looking at it, it looks like they're forecasting. This was the previous value of 215K. That means the United States added 215,000 jobs, but they're predicting that this month is actually going to go down. So they're not going to actually have added that many for April. So they're actually going to have added less than the previous month, which is not good. For Canada, it's a little bit different. They're predicting within Canada, they might have actually added some jobs to the market. So we actually might see USD CAD for that reason head downward. The Canadian dollar might actually strengthen. So that's just our original take on it. This is what Dan Perry's webinar on Thursday is going to be focusing on, is this massive trading event this coming Friday. It's going to be getting you guys ready, good, and make sure you have your positions out there for this webinar coming up and for this major news event coming out this coming Friday. So, like I said, this is going to be very powerful, to say the least, guys. This is the first Friday of every month that this kind of employment data is released into the market. It's always super important to follow it, and it could be potentially massive profits for traders if you are trading it correctly. This is what the trading is going to happen on Thursday for live account holders only. So if you haven't opened a live account yet, definitely recommend it. Like I said, you guys just got to make a small deposit. You can just sit on those live funds. It's just to help ensure that you have a live account. You're going to get access to a lot of stuff like that, including Dan Perry's webinar. So congratulations, you stuck around to the end of the webinar. So for this, we have opened up 5 more spaces for 100% bonus. I don't know how they did it. I'm surprised they did it. We don't offer this many bonuses in a month normally. So we're only going to offer for the first 5 individuals that send us messages right now in your chat box. If you'd like to take advantage of the 100% bonus, just drop your name If you want to send us an email to info@currencyhouse, please do that as well. Just let us know that you would like the 100% bonus. We only are going to do it for the first 5 individuals that send us a message. So the first 5 individuals that send us a message are going to be receiving the 100% bonus. So make sure to act quick. You can either use your chat box on the top right-hand screen or send us an email to info@currencyhouse. So only the next 5 people. And because of the non-farm payrolls coming out, these individuals that take part of this bonus, we are actually going to be offering them a free one-on-one coaching session this week with Dan Perry. So only these 5 people, you're going to be receiving a free one-on-one coaching session with Dan Perry in regards to the upcoming non-farm payroll report this Friday. So we're going to be scheduling you guys in for a one-on-one session with him. He's going to be going over data. He's going to be going over historic figures with you guys. It's going to be able to prep you big time for the upcoming non-farm payroll report. Again, if you want this, we're only going to give it to the first 5 individuals that send us a message because we can't, his time is very valuable. So make sure to drop us a note to either info@currencyhouse, letting us know your name, letting us know how much you'd like to deposit, and we will then give you a 100% bonus as well as the one-on-one coaching session with Dan Perry. Also, if you would like to just drop a note in the chat box, more than happy to help you out on that side too. So that is the bonus that we're giving away for individuals. Again, 100% bonus means that we're going to double whatever you put in. It's pretty historic stuff. We don't do this many. That's why we're only doing it for the first 5 people to do it. And you're also going to get a free coaching session from Dan Perry. So make sure to message us as soon as you can. This is going to cap off the end of the webinar here, guys. If you are interested in asking a couple questions, I'm going to make myself available for the next probably 10 minutes. Nobody can see your questions. If you ask the questions, they're going to be available in the top right-hand screen of the webinar. So I'm the only one that sees the questions. So there's no stupid questions. Please feel free to ask away, guys. If you are leaving, no worries. Have yourself a fantastic evening or rest of the day. We really hope we see you guys out there trading for the non-farm payroll report. It can be an absolute massive money maker for a lot of individuals, but we hope to see you guys trading out there, and we really hope you enjoyed the webinar session today. From all of us here at Currency House, guys, we really hope to see you in the money, and all the best trading this week.